We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strongman Sunday. Today we have a special guest, third place at the Giant Size World Tour Final, but more importantly than that, the current world's strongest man, Mitch Hooper, who is with us until Wednesday when we all fly to Texas for the Rogue Invitational.
So I realized how terrible I am, and I need some in-person coaching for a few days to get up to shape.
Just
for the road.
in-person abuse more than anything.
Yeah. He needed some people to keep him grounded, and we think we're the people. But we hope people had a really good weekend. I know most of you would have watched the competition, so we will definitely get chatting about that.
Firstly, it was an amazing competition.
It really was.
It really, really was fantastic. Iron Bibby on the log. Tom was awesome. Matt Ragg, he was unbelievable.
Was great, yeah.
And it's tough being Mitch Hooper now because if he doesn't win, he's crap.
You're unfocused.
But another podium for Mitch. So we are very proud of Mitch Hooper.
Of course.
And it's funny with strongman. Well, any sport, you get better and better and better, and there's more pressure. So you look at guys like Brian Shaw, Thor, Zadrunas, the Mariusz Pudzianowski, Mitch now, Tom Stoltman. If they don't win comps, it's amazing how many fans say you're done. Yeah. But it was a great competition. Tom thoroughly deserved to win, and Mitch, and we've got a competition in 5 days' time that you're probably a little bit more focused on, I would say, and we kind of made a decision halfway through the comp to not kill himself to try and catch up to Tom, because Tom was looking awesome.
To be fair, pretty much straight after the steeplechase, wasn't it? Because you dropped so many points then when you figure out where you can bring points back.
Ideally, that was an event you were hoping to beat him on, and you were ahead of him up on that third bag, made a mistake. And there's a lot of people saying Mitch isn't focused and he's not in great shape. But when you look at the actual individual events, 200 kilo log, which was joint second. Only Tom did the 210, other than Iron Bibby, who wasn't part of the full competition. You did a very comfortable 7 reps on the deadlift, definitely more in the tank. But on Friday, he has to deadlift again at the Rogue Invitational, knowing the caliber of competition he's going to be up against. We were like, okay, don't kill yourself on this one. Just get some decent points in. Tom's stones are always going to be incredible. So stones are something we need to kind of work on and just get that consistency back, because you did 4 fast, didn't get the 5th one. Probably a little bit disappointing, but we learned from it. Cone and circle, you did better than you did at Worlds. Improved on that.
Much better.
So, and you felt you had more in the tank as well. And obviously Matt Ragg went afterwards. Matt did amazing, took the win.
So good.
But there's lots of positives that we can take from it. So, you've always got to analyze things and look at it in a relative way, look at the positives, look at the negatives, and then move on. And that's what we do, as all athletes should do. I remember a few months ago, people were saying Tom's done after, say, the Arnolds last year or some of the performances.
This year, that was.
And it's so ridiculous. When you've got guys of this caliber, I started seeing people saying Novikov's done because he's had 2 bad competitions. I certainly wouldn't think he's done, would you?
Oh, Novikov, no way.
So it is funny when you're an athlete and you're a very good athlete, because there's that constant pressure that you have to win. And if you don't win, you're finished. But sport is one of those things where you win and lose, you make mistakes, you're at your best sometimes, you're not at your best other times, and you just move on. And I think the fact that Mitch has now done 12 podiums in a row shows what a consistent performer he is.
You're a bit defensive, Mitch.
A little bit.
Yeah. Only you're allowed to give him shit, aren't you?
I gave him a load of shit personally in the car.
In the car.
But driving down. We had a long drive back.
That's why we all look a bit worse for wear.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, and I get so many athletes are almost scared to compete because they feel like if they don't win, they've kind of
lost.
Yeah. But you've got to learn from all these experiences. And I think people forget how new Mitch is to this sport. But even, it doesn't matter what level you're at. The very best make mistakes. You watch any single sport, the best guys lose. And they come back and win. And you learn from it. And sometimes you learn more when you don't win as well. So
But this is not preconceived at all. We didn't set up this live to give an explanation. Hats off to Tom.
We
and
actually
Matt. They were
didn't.
really
No, we didn't.
Lost just went off on a tangent.
It was just some of the comments coming in, and I kind of went off on there. But
That's right then.
we'll talk about other things.
But the thing is, after event 2, making the air on the sandbag, you've got the option of either absolutely killing yourself to try to make up those points, or really at this stage in my career, you either win or you don't win. So if I'm not going to win, I'm going to go out, I'm going to put in a good performance, but not going to do something stupid. I have messages sent to Daz and to Rogue 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, when I could hardly get out of bed because I hurt my back, not sure if I was going to be able to compete. So prep wasn't 100% what it could have been. Thankfully, I pulled up from the competition injury-free. But when it comes to you're not going to win, here's deadlift, I was going to do 6. 6 felt fine. That's why I sort of contemplated. I did a 7th. And I think that ties my best on that. And that was the easiest I've ever done 7. I think I was probably good for 10. But it was no underestimating Matt Ragg. I knew Matt, phenomenal deadlifter. Same thing on Conan's. I know Matt's quite good at Conan's. It was nothing about anticipating what he was going to do and just cruising to second. It was just not going flat out to have the injury risk for these competitions are 6 days apart. We don't even have a week. So podium streak at 12. And my opinion is that if I focus on podium streak, then that means you've turned up in good enough shape to win. And if things go your way, you'll win. And if they don't, you'll probably finish 2nd or 3rd. So mathematically, it was 1 sandbag stumble away from winning regardless. So 1 inch away, even though I cut the deadlift short, I cut Conan's a bit short. The stone, my tacky wasn't perfect going in. And to be honest, at that stage, you're not going to win the show anyway. So wasn't the end of the world in terms of panicking to get more tacky. I thought it'd be okay. I wasn't. I just should have used more. But that's why I didn't have multiple cracks at the stone, because there's no sense in risking a bicep injury. And in the end, a bad day turns out as 3rd place at a Giants Live, ahead of really solid competition as well. So good that we only have to sit on it for 6 days. And in 6 days' time, maybe I come 2nd or 3rd, maybe I win, maybe I come 5th. But that's why you guys watch Strongman, is because
we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you just you flip that and you say Tom stumbled the sandbag and I loaded it. We have a completely separate conversation. So everything's a bit short-sighted, but I mean, the exciting thing is I think Tom and I are solidifying ourselves as number 1 and 2 in the world, and it'll be a good battle moving forward.
It's good him being back in good shape and looking hungry.
Yeah, you need to boot up the arse. Now I'm joking. So let's see who is on the live with us. Loz has flicked past, but I saw lots of familiar faces. We've got Andrew. I saw Sarah. Kelly's here. John. Lots of familiar faces, but let's jump down because we will digress. Hey, it was great to meet you all last night. Awesome comp and great night all round. It was such a great atmosphere in that place, wasn't it?
I really like
venue.
it. The venue and the people that come to watch are incredible. It's 2 years in a row we've been there. I know Giants Live have been there 3 years now. And talking to the people that have been there for all 3 years, it's always the same. The fans up there are incredible.
Yeah, they are.
We kind of pointed out they support everyone. Obviously, the Stoltmans get a huge reception being in Scotland, but everyone is kind of like cheered for. Just awesome.
Everyone is
to be
made
around.
welcome, aren't they?
Yeah.
In Scotland,
And we
really
saw some
nice.
incredible stuff last night. I mean, starting with the log lift.
Mr. Iron Bibby, my goodness, that was really good. Like after, the 229, that I feel bad for Bibby because there was lots of discussion about, was it a good lockout? Was it a good lift? But the amount of actual personal attacks he took because of it, because people don't just come after your lift, they come after you, your family, your character. It's really, it can be quite demeaning, can't it?
And his whole overall performances haven't been the best in the last couple of years. So it was kind of interesting. When I looked at this competition, I saw the log for Max as the first event, and then the steeplechase, the Conan Circle, Atlas Stones. Maybe not his best kind of events. And I was like, is he going to focus on this? But when he kind of announced that he's just coming for the log, and I saw him in the lobby, I mean, the dude he was in shape. because he's always massive. Iron Bibi's a huge individual, but he looked a lot more solid than we've seen. I mean, the triceps on him and the shoulders are just ridiculous. And there was just an air of confidence there. And, you know, when he did that 229, there was a lot going on in his life personally and stuff like that. And it was just so good to see him come and smash this lift. Magnus made him hold that lockout. It was one of the best heavy logs we've ever seen. The crowd went nuts. He went nuts. His family are there going nuts.
Did you see? Apparently, he took out a cameraman with one of his cartwheels.
I'll tell you what.
Picked up a random woman
obviously,
in the crowd.
I was out there, gave him a high five, and he kind of shoulder barged me. And I thought I got hit by a tank. I was like, no, I'm flying. The dude is powerful, but awesome guy. And we're very, very pleased to see him smash that record. It was
really happy.
very good.
Well, so a question for you here, Mitch. Do you think Matt Ragg is top 10 in the world? Probably not enough data, like to.
I'd say bottom half of top 10 for sure. But I also think if you look at a Giants live show, if you're, say you're Tom or I in this scenario, maybe different for Tom because it's home country, but it's probably not something that you're going to take a full prep for. In this case, focusing a little bit more on Rogue. So you sort of turn up to the shows in shape without really having honed in and practiced the events, unlike when everyone does it at World's Strongest Man and seeing where you're at. So I know Matt was over a couple of weeks early, making sure that he got acclimatized really well. And I know that this is his only show since World's Strongest Man. So he had a really good long prep into this. And it shows you what he's capable of with a good long prep. And that's the condition that he's going to show up in World's Strongest Man. That being said, Tom will be better than that at World's Strongest Man. I will be better than that at World's Strongest Man. And that's the difficulty of the big shows. But yeah, I mean, I think Matt would be top 10 in the world. I think top 5 in the world are pretty obvious. And then after that, it's
tricky.
Yeah, it's a big mashup.
Who's top 5 in the world right now, according to Mr. Hooper?
Me, Tom, Alexei, despite those performances, Pablo Cordiaca.
Wait a minute, because now you've got to choose either Trey or Evan.
Well, probably then top 6 is pretty obvious because Trey and Evan. But then after that, make me an argument that Matt Ragg isn't in the conversation.
Yeah, no, I think he slots in there nicely.
Matt Ragg has impressed me very, very much so far this year.
What a guy as well.
Lovely guy.
So nice. It was his first time even being in the UK. So it was, really cool to hang out with Matt.
It was a nice group, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice group.
And strict press 185. So
yeah.
God, there's no leg drive for Matt, because he was close to 200. If he could get use of those legs and he could leg drive, like 210 would look easier than 185. You would assume. So I think he's got potential. I mean, he's competed for ages and ages. I think he's 6 times New Zealand's strongest man. Yeah. But he's definitely physically capable to do a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Bo, guess my flight delay is a blessing in disguise. Well, we hope you don't have to wait for too long for your flight, Bo, but we're glad you're able to join us in the meantime, assuming you're not on your plane already. Monica's in the house. Hi, Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Must have had a scare with Pablo. Yes. Magnus with that lock.
Pablo
My
with
goodness.
the two-tone almost throwing it on Magnus.
I saw a comment that made me laugh. It was something like Magnus willing to put his life on the line before he gives an unwarranted down signal.
If you watch when Magnus is getting out of the way.
Yeah.
He was
He's
getting
still
out of the way.
It's so funny. Oh, bless him. Do you know what, though? I think we should talk about Magnus's refereeing on that log.
We should, because
we talk about it when we don't like
a lot about Magnus, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
There was a couple of guys that weren't too happy with some of the calls. I don't think he made a bad call at all night. I think he got every single call right.
Yeah.
So Magnus, good job, buddy.
Well done, Magnus.
Finally.
We get there in the end. Only took 40 years. No, I'm joking. Dalton, thank you for the super chat. Mitch, help me convince Mal to go to the Arnold's so we can do our sessions in person. Make it a mandatory work requirement or something. There you go. Someone you know.
Oh, yeah. That's with the clinic at home. Yeah. Could do.
Yeah,
could do. Come to the Arnold. I'm not sure it would be the best business decision. It would definitely cost a lot for us to be out there to do an in-person session. But yeah, mate, for you, why not? Pencil it in. I'll do my best.
Oh, go. What's Sam saying there?
This is a good one.
For Liz, yeah. There have been 34 max log lifts over 210 kilos. Bigsy has 12 of them. Only 11 men have done it.
This shows how
Ooh,
impressive
thank you,
a
Sam.
210 log is. Even the 200 kilo log in competition, there's not been that many. There's lots of people that claim to have done 200 kilos in the gym, but to actually do it in competition, it's a big lift. And we had 5 athletes. 6, I think, including.
No, he's saying over 210.
I know, but I'm just saying we had 5. I think it was 6, including I and Bibby, that did 200 or more this weekend, which is awesome.
On the 1,000 pound, the 2022 deadlift world champs. How many guys pulled 1,000?
Not that many. That was your first one, wasn't it?
The year before we
the
had
year before
7.
my first one.
No, 2021 was your first one. 2020.
No,
No,
2022.
2021 was where loads of people did it.
Yeah. How many did it there?
7.
7. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was ridiculous.
Do you think 1,000 pound log or 200 kilo, or sorry, 1,000 pound log would be incredible?
That would be pretty mental.
1,000 pound deadlift or a 200 kilo log? What do you think is more impressive?
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're both incredible benchmarks, I think.
They are, and to be honest, there's an argument to say that 200 kilo log is probably a better indication for the gain of strength over time because you don't have the variable of deadlift suits.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And straps.
But last night was pretty special. Anyway, it's of the caliber of 7 guys pulling 1,000, 6 guys pressing 200. Yeah. Beforehand, we were saying that we probably counted 6 guys who we thought were capable. We said maybe half of them will actually do it.
Yeah.
And then everyone keeps turning up.
Yeah.
Not to mention Matt Reg barely missed it. Andre barely missed it.
Andre was close.
We could have had 8 guys, 200 low.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. Yeah. 2 that were still capable. Toby made it back from the gym with 5 minutes to spare. We're glad you were able to join us, Toby. I would have scheduled it on the way, but we were all busy chinwagging, weren't we? Got Callum here. Well done, Mitch. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I mean, body is good, no real issue. One of the biggest problems I was having on the log is that my calf was cramping. Both my calves were cramping, actually. That's why if you watch the 210, when I had the second attempt, the first attempt slipped. Genuinely, if I chalked my shirt up better, I chalked the log. Luke went before me. He sweat on it. They wiped it off. I should have took an extra second just to chalk myself, but I was sort of just ready to go and keen to get after it. If I did that and cleaned it easy, I think I would have been able to press it. It would have been difficult, but I think I was capable of it. So low back a bit tight from the back bend. I'm going to post a picture of that at some point. There's a pretty good picture that Liz took.
We had a nice argument of how close you were.
Yeah, Loz was like, you're not close at all.
Mitch is like, I'm within a fraction of getting it. And I'm like, no.
I am. I know.
Mitch knows.
What is it?
It's down there. That's it, isn't it?
That's it.
Is that
that's
not
the
it?
podium.
Oh.
Have you done
Oh, hold
WhatsApp?
on. Did you ever get
Check
it
your
sent
WhatsApp.
to you? It's in your WhatsApp. There you go.
Right.
Get your WhatsApp.
But body feels fine. Right calf's a little bit stiff because then that was tightening up and it was spasming before going into the steeplechase. And it wasn't, I didn't feel the best yesterday.
That picture. That's the 210.
Mitch wondering why his back's sore.
You look like you're doing a limbo.
It looks like old school when they did overhead press in the Olympics.
Yeah, very much so. It was funny watching it because like your 200 was solid, and then you try the 210, and Neil Pickup is going nuts on the mic at this point with the effort that you're putting in, and I'm just like, put it down. We've got a comp next week. Put it down.
But to be fair, we've seen me do that type of stuff. Maybe not a struggle to that degree, but you see that if I get it in the right spot, it can go from looking bad to looking great.
But I think just knowing, we have the Rogue coming up just kind of worried me slightly.
If I'm out there, I'm out there.
Yeah, and that's why people love watching you.
Where are we? Mitch's groins on the log is exactly why he's number 1 this year, says Bron Chopped. Bronco PED, whatever. Bo, thank you for the super chat. Congrats on the podium finish, Mitch. Take it in stride and on to the next. The real question to Uncle Loz is, Uncle Liz, will you be coaching Bibby?
If Bibby wanted me to coach him, of course I would. But Bibby, we had a nice chat, and it's just good seeing him do some stuff. The guy is so busy; he does so much back in his home country. and he's got so many responsibilities to help so many people. He really does a lot more than people think. And his training facilities are not the best in the world by any means. So the fact that he can do what he does is incredible. And as a fan, I obviously want to see him commit to strongman, but sometimes you have to respect that people have other things. I mean, I see comments about Mitch, because Mitch, since World's Strongest Man, has been super busy. People are like, oh, does it frustrate you? It's like, he's got to build his brand, In an ideal world, if all that mattered was winning competitions, sure, we'd want to just focus on, 3 months of just prepping for a show. But you couldn't do that. Otherwise, you'd never have time to do anything else. And Mitch is building a brand and a business. He's got family coming up. He's just got married. He's got a baby on the way. There are more important things than just strongman. But that doesn't mean he's not working hard. Same with Bibby, still working hard, coming out, smashing records. So it's just understanding people have priorities. And sometimes people think, oh, it should just be strongman. I can tell you from my own personal experience, my family and my kids and stuff like that became way more important than strongman. And that, when I say that to people, they think, oh, he doesn't care. You still care. You still turn up to comps. You still want to win. But it's just understanding that you've got to balance these things.
If someone thinks I don't care, just go watch the log again.
A man that cares.
Yeah.
So little doesn't try so hard.
Not to mention, like the desire to get back from a back injury. If I wasn't 100% invested and committed, I wouldn't be rushing my way back to get back to shows. It's a sport that I love to do. But there's other things that I love more. And the reason that I put that out there is because I want people with more modest goals than being world's strongest man to realize that it doesn't have to be your number one priority to get to a really good place, whether you're an average person or a competitor yourself. You can live a normal life. You can do very normal things, focus on a couple of important things, get the basics right, and do something special.
Where are we? Thank you, Hedgehog, for gifting memberships. And question from Callum. So I don't know if you've even seen it, but I had a little chat.
I haven't had a chance to see it.
No, and I put it up as a video saying that his focus next year is to get the 505 kilo deadlift, which really surprised me.
That is surprising, but I know talking to him, he said his deadlift's really, I think he's been pulling like 430 or 435.
440 is his best, and he's never actually trained for a max deadlift.
And that's huge progress on what he was doing in the past. So.
What size suit would Bibby wear?
Well, this was a conversation we were having off camera.
It would be like, I want to be convinced, I want to see him training for it, but Bibby is the kind of guy I genuinely believe whatever he sets his mind to, he's capable of.
He's going to have to commission a trampoline company.
He is probably as wide as Mitch and me put together.
Yeah, custom made. That
probably. Yeah. Probably.
The man's shot, his legs, his legs are monstrous. He's a powerful man. And I believe if Iron Bibby is focused and has a goal and he really works towards it, he's capable of pretty much whatever he wants to do. I'd love to see him commit to it.
Could Bibby win World's Strongest Man if he put a full year of focus into it?
Yes.
You believe so?
Yeah, wow. I do. But you've got to remember, I competed against Bibby, 8 years ago, and he was rapidly fast.
8 years ago? Has he been around that long?
He's been around a long time.
7 years ago.
8 years ago.
2016, he was competing.
I was 7 years old.
No. wait.
Stop. Iron Bibby is rapidly fast on things like yokes and frame carries. Yeah. He's got ridiculous leg strength, crazy grip strength. He has all the tools. It's then putting it together, maybe sometimes having to sacrifice certain things. I think he'd have to worry less about log, bring his body weight down a little bit. But yeah, he's capable. He's doing cartwheels after breaking a log. I mean, how many people could do that?
Taking out the cameraman. How many can do it without doing anything else?
At 200 kilos as well.
It, yeah. Thank you so much, Cal, for the super chat. Mitch and Coach Lars, what are the off-season?
We were talking about this in the car earlier as well, weren't we?
Let's just talk strongman side of things and say as though fight stuff. We'll ignore that for the time being.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, number one would be stone consistency and making sure that there's a really clear, constant plan with Taki. I think that would definitely be top of the list. I think just raw power in terms of my upper body is really important. So working on things like bodybuilding type pressing movements. What else do we say? Probably grip endurance.
Yeah, a little bit of grip endurance. The two main things, like Mitch likes doing stones without Taki. and that's a great way to train stones. But I think he needs to get better at doing it how he's going to do it in a competition, and just the application. So that's kind of why we want to train a bit more with tacky, because you can do a 200 kilo stone without. And sometimes it's actually the tacky that's kind of becoming a bit of an issue. So it's making sure things are a bit more comp specific in that area. Upper body strength, we want a bit more hypertrophy in the upper body. Mitch's legs are monstrous. His quads are huge. We don't need to worry too much about hypertrophy in the lower body. Just keeping that strength endurance as high as possible, because his power output is very good. And we want to maintain that kind of conditioning that he has. And then just a few events that just need a bit more technical improvement. I mean, he's improved so much on certain areas, but you know, if you look at the deadlift and dumbbell improvement in the last year, that's been really good, but we're still not 100% confident that you could kind of hit those type of dumbbells, you know, comp after comp. So it's kind of a little bit of things like that. Certainly a bit more upper body hypertrophy work, putting a bit more size onto his arms, shoulders.
Really, I think if we're talking, like, what's probably most important is just looking at the next year and just coordinating what's going on in my life, and designating some quiet periods to be able to have really good, consistent periods of solid training with what shows you're going to do. And probably just saying, if I can't have a solid prep into a show, then I just won't do that show. And that could turn out to be more focused towards the big four. It could be focused towards a deadlift record or a big log or whatever it is. But I think we've shown that if we have a good, solid prep on anything, that I can get my body to do what we want it to.
Yeah. It's just a little bit more experience in certain areas, and then depends what happens with this fight as well. But the goal we have talking to each other is training hard for World's Strongest Man. You know, Mitch is winning once is great. To win it again would put him as one of the best. So that is number one focus right now.
There we go. And sorry. That's all right. Thank you, Jay, for the super chat. Brilliant show. Great to meet you all afterwards. We told Liz she needs her own table for signings. Glad Mitch found his shorts and ring, and already bought tickets for next year. Can't wait. Thank you, Jay.
There's a few people who said they were like buying tickets while they were there.
Yeah.
Which was so good.
Oh,
So
wow.
it just shows it must have been a great show to be a part of.
That's the great thing about the Giants Live shows as well. They announce the dates a full year in advance, and the dates don't move. So, you know, we put them straight in the calendar, don't we? And we're trying to
Speaking
plan
of,
the year by then.
when is World's Strongest Man next year?
Wow. Yeah. And this is the
That'd be
problem.
nice to know.
Yeah, it would be nice to know. But hopefully some information will be coming very, very soon. How does it feel being one of the only strongmen without a beard, Mitch?
It doesn't feel like
Have you done
anything.
that one? Yeah.
Pardon?
I said it doesn't feel like anything.
No. Have you ever had a beard?
No.
You can grow one, can you?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
It doesn't bother me. It bothers me as much as not being able to grow hair.
Okay.
Someone said, how much did the guys pay Pavlo to get rid of Magnus?
Loz, how did you end up being MC?
I got asked the night before, thrown on the spot. I was quite nervous about it.
Yeah.
They were literally, can you do the MCing tomorrow? Okay.
They were expecting Kaz, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
But he couldn't make it. It was like a last minute thing. So they were like, Loz. And yeah.
So if I was crap, I apologize. I was very underprepared.
Poor Loz.
He's fishing for compliments, guys. Just go ahead and give him
Please do.
Yes.
Say how much you liked him.
Tell him, be gentle with him.
Although not hearing that my legs are like pistons was definitely a difficult part.
Oh, you're
Were
gonna
you
have to
disappointed?
work some
Yeah,
of those.
I do like hearing that.
I did tell you you've got big legs.
I know, but maybe on the log press, if you said like your arms are like pistons, I might have been able to lock
Maybe
it
it
out
would have gone
with the inspiration.
Maybe you should get some like pistons tattooed into your like
That'd be good
arms.
as an ode.
Just to kind of remind me.
Yeah. Maybe
It's a visual cue.
Let's do it. We'll probably need a couple of seasons of hypertrophy work in the upper body. Bring up pistons on my arms.
Baby has muscles in places where most people don't have places. It's true.
His arms are bigger than most guys' legs, the trained legs. Yes.
I had a picture of Bibby and someone said his arm is bigger than your whole anatomy.
Could well be.
Yeah. Heidi, thank you so much for the super chat. Mitch is doing great. Ignore the couch warriors.
Yes, it's a privilege to be criticized at the level you are. And actually, the difficulty in accepting criticism as an athlete is really quite low compared to accepting criticism as a person. I put out a YouTube video literally every single day. And if you open your mouth enough, it's like if a cop followed you for long enough, your taillight's going to go out. I'm not the most thoughtful person sometimes when I speak, and sometimes I just say what I'd like to say. And so that stuff is really difficult. But being criticized as an athlete, I just say, like 18 months ago, you tell me that I would be told that my performance is relatively poor because I came third at Giants Live and I lost to Tom Stoltman by really a slip on a sandbag. I'd have told you you're full of shit. And like, I would assume that I'd just be trying to get invites back to Worlds. So I'm really happy with where I'm at the moment. And yeah, I think just to address like Worlds distractions, there are distractions to being World's Strongest Man. The thing you guys have to realize is that if you win World's Strongest Man and you rest on your laurels, you keep training hard. And by the way, you really never know when you're going to have an injury crop up. You never know when it's going to be the end of your career. I don't know. Let's say someone in my family got really ill and needed help taking care of that. I would do that over strongman. So you really never know when that stuff's going to happen. And in the strongman world, you either have one World's Strongest Man or you have not. And once you have, maximizing that in terms of social profile, in terms of my goals and impact and business and brand, all of those things have to happen to make a living. The plus side of that is if you then make a good living off the back of strongman, it's much easier to continue to do strongman. But when you're winning competitions and when you're doing well and when you're the hot item, that's when you have to capitalize on that stuff. And it actually is a testament to being able to do strongman for longer because it's a financially viable thing that's worth your time, that has great prospect for you and your family and your life goals. And so it's a proxy to achieve my life goals. And the reason that I say that and the reason that I don't accept strongman as my life goals is because if I hurt my back, if I blew out my knee, if something happened that I wasn't able to do strongman, and I had to reorient my entire life goals because something happened outside of my control, you're sort of setting yourself up for failure. But so long as strongman is there, I'm healthy, I'm ready to go, I'm strong, then that's the proxy to achieve the life goal. And that means that strongman has to be a big focus in my life, which it is. I think it would be distracting if I was off and I did an appearance on a talk show and then I did a 5K charity run. Like every appearance I do, every single time I'm out doing something, it is to talk about strongman, to be at a strongman event, to promote strongman, to everything is strongman related. So the distractions are more as the responsibility I find as World's Strongest Man to try to grow the sport. That being said, like I said, next year, just taking better periods of time to be able to say, like, we are focused, we are prepping. That being said, times 3. If I didn't miss that sandbag yesterday, we'd be having a completely separate conversation of how incredible I am. And hopefully,
we won't go that far.
Hopefully, at Rogue Invitational, we're only sitting on this for 6 days, and then I can put in a really good performance. To be honest, I trained a hard deadlift from the floor once after hurting my back, and I think it's in a better spot than it ever has been. If you look at my 7th rep this year versus my 7th rep last year, it was definitely better. I think my log might be 5% down, but at Rogue, I can triple 162 or whatever it is without any concern at all. And my lower body strength and conditioning feels as good as ever because I've had to do more lower body strength and conditioning work since I couldn't actually load. So I think we're going to have a very different conversation in a week's time. I think I was physically capable to win yesterday. My poor execution probably just comes down to the fact that I couldn't pick up a sandbag for multiple weeks of this prep because that's one of the hardest things to do. It's like a big deficit deadlift. And so not practicing then means maybe you had the sandbag a little bit lower. I made a mental error and just rushed myself a little bit. But all of those things can be fixed with a change of mindset that can happen in 10 seconds.
There was nothing that happened this weekend that you kind of look at and think, oh, damn, he's just not strong enough.
No,
it was more mistakes that were made. We'd
be the first ones to go, look, the conditions are just not there to win Rogue. It's just not true.
No, I genuinely think the Rogue is going to be a great battle between a number of guys. Like Mitch is looking good, Tom Stoltman looking fantastic. Evan Singleton's had a great year, looking really, really good. Kiliashkovsky looks like training's going really, really well.
Trey looks strong.
Trey's looking strong. Bobby's looking strong. You know, there's a lot of athletes coming to this show.
We don't know.
He's the question mark. Yeah. Because he's not had a great couple of comps, and I haven't really seen too much of his training, but he's the current champion. Yeah. So do you just dismiss him just based off 2 results?
Never.
he's an amazing strongman.
Yeah.
If he's in shape, he is dangerous. So there's a lot of good, guys that could be really battling next weekend.
You best believe, thank you for the super chat. I flew in from Northern Ireland for my first live show. Incredible to watch. Mitch, mate, if you ever need 40 blurry photos of the back of your head, hit me up. There you go.
That sounds extremely provocative. I want you to know that I've never met this man. Just taking out the show.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, what's this? Stupid phone stole my message. Heidi's members chat there. What have we got? Mitch, does your moustache give you power?
No, I think we've proven that. Although it would be weird at this stage to take it off, don't you think?
No.
You don't think?
Ashley likes it. That's all that matters.
No.
We
had a
we
brief
think doesn't
respite
matter.
from the moustache, didn't we?
We needed a reset. Is what we needed.
But it's come back like better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't get on board. It's
Well,
none of my business.
No one's asking you to.
No,
Yeah,
to be
that's fine.
fair.
Log press is a way better overall assessment of strength than a deadlift. Axle clean and press also.
No.
Joe just happens to have short arms.
Do you know Joe?
I coach Joe.
Oh,
Joe is actually a very, very talented up and coming strongman. So
There you go.
yeah, look out for him. But yeah, he's a very good presser. Doesn't like deadlifting as much, but his deadlift's improving well as well. But he loves a press.
Nicola there saying Andre is one to watch.
Absolutely.
What a great guy he was.
Really
as
good
well.
guy.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. Very composed.
21 years old, travelled on his own just because he wanted to take in the full experience while there's no pressure on him.
It was really nice because we got to hang around with some of the guys for a couple of days
Yeah.
just to have some fun. And yeah, Andre was just a pleasure to be around. Really cool guy. And he's got a bright future.
Ridiculously strong for 21 as well.
Crazy. Where are we?
Sorry, guys, I've let Lars be in.
It's crazy that
You stole your
the
shorts.
The crop of
Who did steal your shorts?
And were those Auntie Liz's leggings? No, they were not.
No, they were mine. They're my tier leggings.
Oh, okay. They're not the ones that you stole from Donna Moore.
No,
Okay.
I got my own now.
Okay.
Nice capri leggings. Very sexy. It could be my thing.
One of the strongman handlers accidentally put it in their
it was
bag.
Tyler Cotton's coach,
Yeah.
aka I told him this, aka Middle Eastern Adam Dirks. They look like
Middle
the
Eastern
same.
Adam Dirks. He
They
does
have
a
the
bit.
same mouth,
Yeah.
same look, same sound. It's very weird.
There you go.
So we've been offered someone else is going to take us to Bucky's.
Oh, bless
Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you,
Do
Will.
you need Bucky's escorts? You must not go by yourself.
People just want to experience it with us, I think.
Well said, Liz.
Everyone
Loz.
loves
There we go.
I said Liz lost. Damn it. Could have been me.
Rogue prediction. I predict I'll be clicking hide chat.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
Why?
Because the
Rogue,
stream
yeah.
feed is just awful.
So for people that want to watch the Rogue Invitational, just head over to the Rogue Fitness YouTube channel, but turn off the chat. That would be my advice.
Do they go crazy on anyone but Rob, though?
No, they just go crazy. There's just trolls.
The thing is, you get a
It's
lot
like-
of, the strongman fans are there, but then you get a lot of non-strongman fans that are just giving abuse all the time.
Yeah.
So
There's just a lot of trolls as well saying like, oh, so-and-so has died. That's why there's a delay. And like people believe
Oh,
it.
really?
It's ridiculous, honestly. It just
It's
goes-
Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch is trolling everyone.
Yeah, he's out back though. Oh, dear.
Simon, thank you for the super chat. I'm putting the buzz poster in my office.
This is the guy. Did you ever see the video where the guy at Worlds was holding the moose Buzz Lightyear?
Oh,
And I,
yes,
like,
and you
with
tapped
this
him on
guy.
the shoulder.
cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I bet he's like, oh shit.
Andrew loved the golf day. Meh, Mitch won, so it wasn't that good. How competitive was Evans on the
Nana.
bowling?
He said to me after the bowling, he messaged me that night. He's like, you turned me into a villain. He said, I heard the laughing at my golf and I turned into a villain during bowling. He was like going after you, was he? He was like,
Yeah.
have it, old man.
You're going down, old
That
man.
was it.
You're going down, old man. I was like, dude, we're just bowling.
Way too much.
It was a hell of a game of bowling,
was
though. I think
just enough,
six
I
of us scored over 120.
Yeah, I'm all for the theatrics.
It was fun.
I literally scored half of it.
And
63.
Colin Bryce made us late.
he did make the slate. It was all Colin's fault.
We blame Colin. Giants Live, if you're watching, it was definitely Colin's fault.
Yeah. Christopher Craig, thank you for the super chat.
Arnold's UK would be great to get another photo with both of you this a year later.
So.
Mitch, you looking forward to Thor return?
Yeah, Thor return will be good. It'll certainly get more eyes to the sport. Be interesting to see what kind of shape he turns up in, for sure. But he's a freak of nature. Like, it'll be exciting. It'll be fun. Arnold's UK, I assume that I'll be going. I don't know any.
Do you know
details.
anything about
We
it?
know
I know nothing about it.
No, nothing.
The only thing I've heard is that Thor's going. Mitch
That's
doesn't
Yeah.
know if he's going.
Yeah.
None of the other athletes know if
Don't
they're
know the
going.
events
Yeah.
when it is.
I think the date is like 2 weeks after Arnold's
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
I think it's in Birmingham again.
Yep.
But I don't know. No one's contacted me. The best of my knowledge, no one's contacted anyone else either.
No.
But I think there was a good hypothesis. I forget who put this out there. It could have been you. That maybe the deal with Thor getting an invite to Arnold was that he also attended Arnold UK.
That was Lars,
Yeah.
to help promote it and
Yeah.
raise its profile.
Hopefully, we'll find out a little bit more about it pretty soon.
Yeah, because we're going to be with the road
Yeah,
guys
and I
this
think
weekend.
important to clear up that this Arnold's UK is run by Arnold's America, so there's no
Bad blood or anything dodgy.
extra interest involved.
No.
Let's just leave it at that.
Nathaniel, thank you very much for the super chat. Who would play a better Father Christmas?
Big one for Bobby.
Lars.
Yeah,
You reckon me?
Lars.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you're much. You have the
I'd be much more
capacity,
friendly
much
than
more
Bobby.
jolly.
I was
Yeah.
going to say you're jollier. Sorry, Bobby, but you are.
I think I'm more accommodating to meeting people than
Yeah.
Bobby is at times.
Bobby would be giving these kids a motivation to all talk.
Unless it was like, if it was a play that was like titled "Father Christmas Confronts Scrooge," then Bobby. Then definitely Bobby.
Neil.
Oh, Neil Pickup in the chat. Hey, Neil, I hope you're doing okay. Amazingly dramatic event last night in Glasgow. Mitch's effort in event one was beyond belief. Never seen anyone go so redline in the opening event and come back to contest the show. So well, Iron. There we go.
Yeah.
Just gonna grab some water. Do you want one?
Sure.
Yeah, you've got a drink. Leslie?
Neil always
Quite
brings the
right.
excitement for Giants Live.
Neil's like the ultimate hype man.
He
That
is.
is, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you just want sort of introducing you everywhere as you walk into the house or something. El Press Cat, thank you very much. Loz versus Eddie or Shaw in the ring. When? I don't think I've got a big enough following to make it worth their while. I don't mind a little bit of fighting, but yeah, I think I'll just stick to chatting these days.
Have you been? Did you get in many fights as a youth?
Yeah, well, I was British champion at Kung Fu, and I did
Oh, were you?
fighting for years.
Right.
So being in the ring and stuff like that was kind of second nature.
Mm.
But I always see it more like it's just a sport to me. It's that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
developing skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to enjoy it, and I still follow boxing and MMA quite a bit.
Mm.
I did a little bit of boxing last year for an old boy. I'm not too bad. I move reasonably well. Bit
Did you
more.
spar?
Yeah. It's not so fun getting punched in the face, but it's kind of weird. You get punched in the face, and it suddenly wakes you up, and you're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Okay, music
You
is
sometimes
there.
take that first
You can
one.
stay there. I just wasn't convinced you'd fit. There you go.
Never heard that before.
Mitch, how do you feel you'll do on the Tower of Power?
Top 10.
Top 10. Good call. Good call. What did we get last year?
I think I got 7 last year.
So the goal is to beat that.
There's no deadlift performance from last year that I haven't been able to beat this year. So I think 9's a good target. Important point of difference this year is last year they allowed power briefs. We've been told very adamantly, very explicitly that power briefs are not allowed this year. So you might see numbers creep down slightly from guys who are wearing them last year. I wasn't. I think 9 would be a great goal. I think that would get great points, and that's really the best outcome. But it partially depends on what number you draw, and hopefully I draw number 10, and I know my numbers and I know what I have to do. But yeah, I mean, things have changed so fast. I lost 6 points in one event, like sandbag steeplechase, lost 6 points, but still only lost by 4 or 5. And so it could feel like despair sometimes. Same thing at Rogue. Last year at Rogue, I think it was in 8th after 2 events and then came back to 3rd. So, yeah, first event, it's just about, I think first event, you can't win the show, but you can work your way to losing the show for sure. So it's just getting good points on the board, getting a good start, because after that is the roller coaster. And there's something about that the guys who do later in the roller coaster did better last year. I have a theory that the rope slightly stretches out from early guys to late guys, and so you get more return for each pull. And depending on where I place in deadlift, I might bring that to the attention of the organizers. I might get some pre-stretch if I'm if I'm shit.
Mitch is probably the smartest man in Strongman. He's the big picture, crazy talent, that's for sure. It's something we spoke about with a couple of younger athletes this weekend, is sometimes kind of looking beyond just the very next step and kind of understanding the big picture. But yes, Mitch is very, very good at seeing, having a full plan, not just focusing on the next day.
But to tackle that, I think intelligence is the wrong description of what that is. I think it's just anyone who considers whether they're alive long enough and what you want to accomplish with your life long enough would come to similar types of conclusions. I think it's, I'm going to put out a documentary soon, but I think it's primarily rooted in struggle more than it is in some extra intellect. If you hang around me for 24 hours, the impression that you're going to leave with is not that he's the smartest man in the
world. We did some quizzes, didn't we? And I think it humbled all of us.
Yeah, not good.
No, we're very smart. There's not much we don't know collectively.
As a team, we did quite well on those quizzes. Maybe not so well individually.
Although we learned Canada's the most educated country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mitch didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
There we go.
No one was more surprised than Mitch.
Brian Shaw once lost the World's Strongest Man title over a sandbag falling off a platform. Yeah, he sucks. He does indeed.
Right.
Yeah. Small margins in sport. It is all about small margins.
Yeah. Monica's members chat up there.
Oh, there we go.
I assume walkout song was on purpose. Mind game? Did you choose? No, so you've had that since you won Worlds, haven't you?
Yeah, it was the same at Royal Albert Hall.
Did they choose it for you, or did you choose it?
I chose it.
Okay.
Mind game? No, honestly, my song last year was so bad. I was just grasping at straws to find something a little bit more energizing. Yeah, it's horrible. Bad, yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
So no mind games.
Here we go. Here's a question for you, Mitch. How do you think I'll do at OSG?
Look, I'm not sure the depth of talent in Masters is the same as it is in Open. So I think, say top 10 would be virtually a no question. And then if you look at the guys with good pedigree there, I think Rauno, he still competes with us, and he still competes well. He just beat Pavlo.
I think Rauno has to be seen as the favorite.
Yeah, he has
I think so, realistically. Yeah.
But I think if the goal isn't to take home a trophy of some color, then you're probably selling yourself short. So I'll do my 1,000 times over prediction, and I'm gonna say Laws finishes in 2.5 place.
There you go.
2.5 place.
Giants live in the house. Hey, Loz, Liz, and Mitch.
Hey guys, amazing show last night.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Nicola is coming to OSG. That is amazing. Yay. Look forward to seeing you there.
We need to organise the Team Loz. Well, no, Team Liz. Get together beforehand.
Are you doing that at OSG?
Yeah, probably just the day before. Just maybe a coffee or something. I don't know.
May I be a special guest?
Of course you can.
I'll be guest speaker.
Yeah, I'm going to try and wrangle Rauno as well, just for comedic purposes.
Yeah, Rauno and I will MC the evening.
Yes.
Anyway, shut up.
Anyway, shut up. Idiot. Young idiot.
Ross, thank you very much for the super chat. Laws, would you encourage your athletes to do some Scottish stones of strength? Great meeting you again. Let's get Mitch on. We were talking about Mitch coming up to do some stone lifting next year.
Well, actually, we were talking about just
coming up to
Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Just to answer your question, only if they wanted to. I wouldn't necessarily say, "Oh yeah, you've got to go and do it," but I think if anyone wants to take a trip up to Scotland and try some of them, it's an amazing experience. And, you know, I think there's always time to do stuff like that. Right now, Mitch has a lot of other things to focus on, but I'm sure at some point he'll have some fun. And, you know, it's always good fun to try these new different events, or old events really, but new for Mitch or someone that's never tried them.
I mean, that would be the definition of unnecessary injury risk, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, there is
Unless
always
it's something you're really passionate about doing,
Absolutely.
like it's one of your goals, you know. But no, you're not really a stone man, are you? To be fair, Carl was asking about my nail. No, it's still messed up.
It's still in the bowling ball.
It's still in the bowling ball. I'll get it fixed on Tuesday. It's fine.
Yeah.
Very sad times. Kind of ruined the day for me. Park will
What's
be a
this
really
all
weird
about?
Santa
Who has
surprise.
heard about Brian, I'm guessing, bending that car door from a head-on car crash? I don't know anything about this.
No, don't know what you're talking about, Kelly. Elaborate.
Young lady
please.
called Bonnie here would like to know what happened on the 200 kilo stone.
Mom, you must answer to your mother.
Tell me.
Why?
What happened? What was wrong with you?
You let the family down.
Disgrace the name. She was Bonnie Hooper yesterday.
Yeah, she's probably crying now.
I had maybe an eighth of my tub of tacky left that I had brought. I spread that out the best I could over the stone sleeves. I sort of thought I don't have a great amount of tacky on, but it'll be good enough. Again, at that stage, I knew I was going to lose the show. And if I was being super careful, I would have put tacky on the back of my hand. I would have had extra tacky on my forearms. I just didn't go to that length. The stones are really, really good. They were really smooth, really shiny. It wasn't any sort of intentional thing. It was just a layer of protection that I just didn't go to the lengths to worry about because the stakes were a little bit lower. So, the tacky slipped on it. And frankly, when I practice stones, I'm really good. When I don't, I can run into some issues. And we haven't been able to touch stones. Excuse me. We haven't been able to touch stones since the Shaw Classic, because first the hamstring and then the back. Now, one thing I would love to talk about the back, absolutely love to talk about, and I hope if you're, please record this and
It's
post
recording.
it on your.
Well, it's going to be on YouTube.
No, I'm talking to them.
Oh,
You.
okay.
Record this and put this on your Instagram story. I'll give you a second. Well, they got to pull up their Instagram. You know. It takes a second.
Okay. I feel like I should be doing it.
So I hurt my hamstring at the Shaw Classic. 2 weeks later, I hurt my back. Reason was long travel to Orlando. Was in tanks filming for a day. Hurt my hamstring. After I hurt my back, I couldn't get out of bed properly for about a week in the morning. It was really tough to walk. What did I do? I went for a whole bunch of walks. I did not do anything other than that, and it took a week and a half to turn around and be able to do some stuff. I was not afraid of re-injuring myself. I understood it could happen, but the psychology of these things is very, very important. It went from numb right foot, pain down the left leg, to can walk pain-free, to can deadlift 200 kilos, to can deadlift 300 kilos. And then what happened last night, I did not overcomplicate my rehab. I never have to do that. I don't. I might next year into Worlds play with just like 4 socials, doing every reasonable recovery method possible and see how it makes me feel. But in the end, especially if your goals are more modest, you don't have to do that. All I did was go for walks, stay moving, and do what I could and continue pushing myself that way, just as I do in other circumstances.
There you go. A question here. What happened to Luke Richardson?
Luke, I actually asked him this, and he really candidly told me he just was a bit afraid to compete with me at this stage.
No. Luke, he tweaked his bicep, the bicep that he'd had surgery on, England's strongest man during the sandbag steeplechase, funnily enough. And it was such a bicep heavy competition, this one, wasn't it? He just, it really wasn't worth, you know, after everything he's been through to come back again, like to take that
he
risk.
wants to make sure he's in shape for Britain's strongest man.
Yeah.
He didn't want to take any risks.
No. That's like probably at this stage now with all that's happened, that's his best chance to qualify for Worlds next year. So
well, I think he wants to win that British title as well.
Yeah,
I think it means a lot to him.
100%.
So
yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't see Luke compete last night, but he is training hard still.
Yeah.
Where are we?
I don't know.
What's that?
Hoop, there it is. That's a great tune. How dare you?
It was, to be honest, it was written about my grandfather, and it just doesn't feel right. Stealing his thunder.
Mitch, do you know how heavy the duel is going to be? So it's a sandbag loading event, isn't it?
Sandbag loading, essentially 150, 160, 170, slightly different, but 3 sandbags loaded seems pretty straightforward.
But you've got to do it like multiple times because it's an elimination type thing.
Yeah, it goes from 2 heats of 5 to 1 heat of 5 to 2. So yeah, and it's the
could
last
be an
event.
interesting one.
Could have a really exciting finish.
Yeah,
that could be really interesting because, like, you take an event like the sandbag steeplechase, and you make athletes rerun it.
Yeah,
you know, you could make a mistake, still get through, and then be better next time, or you may be fatigued next time.
Yep.
Just having to do it 3 times is an interesting.
And as the last
concept.
Event as well.
Yeah, it's tough.
And see how it's scored.
But it's also heavy.
Point of interest, a la Latvia 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Let's say, argument's sake, I'm in first, Tom's in second. Tom is finished. No, I'm in first. Tom's in second. I finished third in sandbags, the duel, and Tom is going up against someone who has nothing to win, but Tom can win the show. We could run into a situation where the guy going against the guy to win, the point is worth nothing, and the other guy could be worth winning the show. There's a lot of things that could happen. Personally, if I had nothing to gain from doing an extra 150, 160, 170 sandbag load, logically, why would you bother?
If it's the last event, then it will be in reverse order on the overall scores at that point. So if
No,
in
it's 2 heats of 5.
Oh yeah.
And then a heat of 5 and a heat of 2.
Oh yeah.
So if I had nothing to gain from doing that last sandbag loading, I wouldn't even touch him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Imagine ripping a bicep off for 0 points on a 170
It could be interesting those first few rounds.
Think of that.
It'll be interesting to see how it works.
Yeah.
We will wait and see.
So I thought that you might mention Mitch winning crazy golf. No.
Nah.
Loz is not impressed.
It wasn't winning. It was a clinic. It was an absolute clinic.
It was quite a cool place, though.
It's great.
It was interesting.
Yeah,
really interesting. I've never seen such child-unfriendly golfing before.
Yeah, it was
really,
very rude.
Yeah, very rude. Yeah.
But I'm into it.
Very interesting. You didn't actually read Heidi's super chat. Then,
I'm so sorry,
just
Heidi.
click up that. There you go. So rude. Just skipping over.
It's because Mitch was just talking and talking and talking.
Heidi, thank you for the super chat. Sad I will miss the get together. I will be on a cruise.
How can you be sad about being on a cruise?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I would rather be on your cruise. We can swap.
The real question is,
idea for Heidi, right? If you get enough YouTube members, I'm sure we could commit to this. If we got 3,000 YouTube members additional, you could do a whole Laws cruise.
Yeah,
that could be the get together.
What, a holiday with Laws?
Yeah. Recruit your friends.
Recruit your friends
to become members.
All right.
Then we can
make a Team Liz and Laws cruise.
Yeah,
it sounds tragic. It doesn't sound like it's.
Can we not just have like a nice holiday destination?
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise. Doesn't really appeal to me, to be honest. But
some people love it, don't they? And some people say amazing things about it.
I've never known someone to do one and not love it. But
your mum and dad went on one, didn't they?
They've been on a few. Yeah,
I've been on one.
Didn't you? No.
It just depends because it's the epitome of just hanging out and doing nothing.
Yeah.
So if that's your thing, it's great.
Yeah, it's not my thing, to be honest. Daryl, thank you.
Mitch and Loz, how do you maintain your training when it comes to long distance travel? How much
recuperation
time do you allow yourselves? What do you do to mitigate the exhaustion? I'm older than Mitch, so I take a bit longer to recover than he does. A lot older, a lot slower at recovering. To be honest, these days I'm pretty laid back. Like I've said publicly since I retired from Strongman, and I'm still retired from professional Strongman, that work comes first, family comes first. Training for me is a hobby. So I try to still fit my training in. Being away this week, I only got 3 sessions in instead of 4. I'm going to train tomorrow. We'll train Tuesday. We will fly Wednesday. I'm going to try to train Thursday. And then that will probably be it for next week as well. So again, it's going to be another 3-day as opposed to 4-day week of training for me.
I think you might be talking about like time zone difference.
Time zone difference you just cope with, don't you?
It's mostly not related. And frankly, for me, the 4 biggest shows of the year are all North America, all really tight time zones. So that's not much of a problem. I struggled this time with time zone change, but I was here 5 or 6 days early. So I had a little bit more time to get around it. It's usually not related to strongman at all, because if it was just a strongman decision, I would have been like Matt Ragg and come over a couple of weeks ago and had a good couple of training sessions and gone on the Giants live kit. And
I normally find if I'm going to the States, all I have to do is just stay up, and then I'm pretty much okay. Coming back is worse usually in terms of jet lag and stuff like that. But yeah, you've just got to cope with it. It's one of those things that I think you can use it as an excuse, and there's certainly things that can affect it. But I think if you allow it to affect you, it's worse. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, this is the situation. Suck it up and go train. Just try and make sure you're getting your food in. Try to sleep if you get an opportunity on it.
Just like sometimes you have to work when you're tired. You suck it up and do it, don't you?
You just do it. Yeah. I think when training becomes your life, you just make it happen. Mitch still gets his training in despite all the traveling that he's doing right now. You may have sessions where you back off a little bit just because you're feeling physically exhausted. You have to listen to your body. But
I don't make it like, to be honest, whatever's written, I pretty much, unless I'm hurt.
Okay,
I pretty much do whatever's written.
I know you do, but I'm just trying to explain to people that sometimes it is important to listen.
But most people, the error is way more often than not, you're just being a bit lazy.
You're just being a wuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a matter of just, sucking up and getting on with it.
Yeah.
Totally off topic. What's the worst movie you guys have seen?
Anchorman 2.
Sausage Party.
Yeah. I'm particularly sore about Sausage Party
because we went to the cinema for it.
And it was...
I mean, the Human Centipede was goddamn awful.
Yeah,
but
that was just
fascinating.
Yeah.
Sausage Party was just bad.
Sausage Party, we kind of saw the clip for. I thought, it looks quite funny, and then we went to the cinema.
Literally, the only funny moment
and it was
that clip that we'd seen. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
What did you say, Anchorman 2?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Anchorman 2. Anchorman's good.
So bad. Anchorman is good.
Anchorman's a good film.
Anchorman 2 is so
not Sin 2.
Oh, no. Yeah, we walked out, didn't we?
Yeah.
We gave it a fair chance, and that this isn't getting any better. Actually, it was the Sausage Party orgy at the end where we finally walked out. We're like, oh fuck this, we can't go. We're adults. It was bad.
We say we're adults, we're not. We're childish as they come, but that was still terrible.
Even by our low standards, that was bad. Where are we? I don't think. Sandbag the competition, LOL.
Will Mitch make it up north to the Strongman Centre? Not this trip, unfortunately. We're already back down south, and we head to Texas on Wednesday.
Yeah. I've never been invited to the Strongman Centre.
Oh, are you sad?
Oh, there you go.
I am.
Have we?
Yes, I have. Yes, you came with me. Do you remember when you didn't get in their ice bath?
Oh yeah. Jiminy Crickets, thank you for the super chat. Mitch, are you at all upset at the Shahleis for posting a list of events to never see again in Strongman that you would probably dominate in? Remember, drama sells. Did you watch that video with me?
No, he's not watched it.
No. Oh, superstar. Here he hasn't watched our humble video. No, we did a video, 10 events we never want to see in Strongman again. It's just for fun.
What's about?
No. Yeah.
What's about me dominating them though?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think what was something. Oh, you would have done well, but to be fair, the things like the
gravel
shovel and the log chop and stuff like that. And one of them, it was a medley that was basically like a sports day race that kids do.
You had to do like a sack race
and a rope
climb up a rope, 100 kilo bench for reps. It might not even be your
competition, to be honest. Like you would smash it all, but yeah. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Yeah, you have to watch video now. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Loz. Michael Scott here for the Strength 1+0 team. What is your thoughts on Mitchell's peak performance?
So Michael,
potential.
he's in my group coaching the other day.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
suddenly can't read.
Yeah. What's my thoughts on Mitch's peak potential? His potential to do whatever he wants in the sport. I think if Mitch is motivated enough, he's going to win more international shows. Potential could, he has the potential to be one of the greatest of all time. Whether he does that or not depends on many, many factors, but
including his coaching.
Of course, that's one of the most important factors. But to be the greatest of all time, there's still a long way to go. So it depends how motivated he is to do it and how long he's going to stay in the sport, avoid injuries, many, many factors. But he's an incredible athlete, and I don't want to say too much more because he's I can see the head growing as we speak, but he's pretty good.
Could I win 6 world's titles?
Could you win 6 world's titles? You need to win 2 first. Then we'll talk about a third.
Just have fun with
Potential.
the conversation.
Potential is such a random word.
It's really a direct word in this. Potential.
Could you win 6? No, I don't think you can.
No.
There we go.
Maybe I will.
Maybe.
There you go. That's all the motivation he needs.
Hypothetically, though, am I good enough to win worlds? I was good enough this year. Am I likely to be good enough next year?
Let's see what you're like in 4 years.
Are you likely? If I was competing in 6 years' time, is it possible that I don't get hurt? Yes, of course. Is it possible that I stay at the same level? Of course. So then, by deductive reasoning, you would be in shape to win worlds 6 times.
Is it possible that the sport progresses a lot in that time? Also, yes. If you.
But you can say that. Is it possible for Tom Stoltman to win 6?
100%.
Yes, it's possible. Is it possible for Evan Single to win 6? It's possible.
100%.
So there's so many factors that come into those things. So
you just said it wasn't possible for me.
I know. every time I tell you can't do something, you go and do it.
There you go.
If I tell you can do it, you're going to get pretty bored and you'd be like, nah.
Thank you so much, Rob, for gifting memberships. The cruise is getting closer every day. There you go.
Thank you, Rob. Really appreciate it.
Thoughts on Matt Rack? We did speak
Matt,
about him.
Unbelievable. Like he was amazing this weekend. Just super impressed with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
People saying Anchorman 2 was a bit of a letdown from the
horrible.
first one. Someone else liked
Glad
it.
I haven't watched it.
Sausage Party.
Someone liked it.
2. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Sausage, but they made a 2?
They need a second one. Surely not. How did it get that far? Oh, man.
Mitch, how do you think Thor will stack up if he comes back next year?
He could win. He could be mid-pack. I think one thing we can guarantee is Thor will not be towards the bottom of the table. I think he's just too physically gifted, and there's too much pedigree to allow himself to come back if he's not going to come back and put in a good effort. So, I think he could do. I think he could do really well. He pulled 300 kilos a couple of days ago, very, very easily. So, he's going to come back in good shape. I think if he commits to getting in the same form as he was before, he'd be really good. That being said, I think he's far from unbeatable. Even if he turns up in really, really good shape, there's certain things that I think if I continue to work hard and progress, that I'd be able to beat him on. But who knows? It could turn into a great Mitch, Tom, Thor rivalry, and I think that would only be good for the sport.
I actually think him coming back is good for the sport.
100%.
And it's not a matter of, he's going to be dominating, because I think you can beat him. I think Tom can beat him, and, others too. Mm-hmm. But it makes the excitement of every comp better when you've got more and more. I think just the fact that he's such a big name as well in the sport. And now we get to see, we saw Thor in 2018 and we've not really seen him since. So
2018.
Was it 18 his last year?
2020. He did the Arnolds.
Okay. Yeah, he did. You're right.
And 2019 he competed all year that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is we haven't seen him for a fair few years.
Yeah.
And the sport was there's a lot of new names that have come in that
it's
time.
a totally different landscape.
So I'd be interested to see what kind of shape he can get himself back into. Let's remember, he's not that old still.
Yeah.
He's still...
Oh, he's 32, 33.
Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe slightly older, but...
They may just Taylor Swift.
Still...
I was giggling at
God, they've aged differently.
I think it makes it interesting. I think it's just another name to add to a list that makes predicting comps hard. It's going to make watching them fun. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Right, let's try and catch up quickly. Fingers Fingal. I feel like that's a bit of a piss.
Fingles.
No, Fingers
Oh yeah. Fingers
Fingal.
finger, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes, yeah,
I couldn't say Fingal's
No,
finger, could I?
that's definitely aimed at you.
I've been practicing. Thank you for the super chat. Love you guys. The CrossFit version of the duel involves climbing a rope. I assume the strongman won't be doing that, but do you think any of them could with no legs involved?
You can climb a rope, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I think a couple of them can. Yeah.
I did it. I've done it a couple of times, but I did it 3 or 4
Can
days.
you do it without using your legs?
I feel like Maxine could.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
I've only done well, it's not with arms so good. I did it 3 or 4 days before the show. I was doing a shoot with a sponsor at this really cool gym in Denver. Saga Blood Flow Restriction Cuffs. Go check them out. I did it, and then my issue is when I get up to the top, I don't have like the eccentric control, and so I held the rope
You just fall.
and rope burn on my hands. I tell you about this.
I saw, I think.
Oh, my hands, they were all cut up. I had to have my hands in cold water all day. I don't think strongman climbing up a rope is something that we should be doing.
No.
But if we had to, I could.
So heavy. And I think like Evan's got great grip, but surely maybe he's a bit heavy.
Yeah.
I think Evan could get up a rope,
Yeah.
but like under control, not hurting himself.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a hard one to choose people for.
I think like the under 105 strongman or the lighter strongman.
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah,
Ferris could do it.
definitely. The
Kevin
bigger
could
people
definitely.
get like, I can't see Tom getting up.
No, Tom's not
No.
going to want to do that.
No.
I am Bibby's going to struggle.
Trey ain't doing that.
Trey's not doing that.
No. Interesting. I'd like to say.
I would be pretty happy not seeing it.
Yeah. Mitch and the grapple shovel, easy points. Would be very easy. Bring back iron bar bending.
What's
No,
the-
that was on the scrap list. You've done it like a few years ago.
Yeah,
competition.
bar bending is a fun thing to do. I just don't think it's a great event for a strongman competition. I enjoy bending bars and all those kind of like rolling frying pans, tearing packs of cards, bending 6-inch nails. It's all fun sort of exhibition things, but I don't think they're good competition lifts to do.
Mindset going into the fight with Eddie. It's probably too early to like because you've not even signed a contract yet, have you?
Well, the mindset is really just become the best athlete I can, treat it as a sport, come in good condition, make sure I know how to protect myself, make sure that I understand what's safe and what's not safe, and just go in and give it my best. Really, I think the priority has to be around being able to protect yourself well from getting in bad positions. Because we're not going to become professional MMA fighters. It's not going to resemble a professional MMA fight.
It's not even about trying to, is it?
No. It's just about, for me, it's just about having a new sport, giving it a crack. And there's a lot of comments around like it being in Qatar. The Qatari government's not involved. Of course, it's there, but it's no support or non-support for Qatar. I know nothing about what goes on there. Same way I don't know anything about what goes on in Scotland. There just happened to be a competition there. So it's just a new sport to do, a new opportunity. I wouldn't be doing it for free, put it that way. But I'm going to be going there, be the best athlete I can be, take up something new, and hopefully learn some skills that potentially help my strongman career. And maybe I become a little bit more body aware, maybe a little bit more mobile, and it's only things that's going to push it forward. But I've already announced, I already put a video out. The fight, February 17, I will be doing Arnold. I will be doing Arnold UK. I will be doing Worlds. I'm not going anywhere in terms of strongman. I am just going to do a little side project.
It's a side quest.
In the meantime, a side quest.
A side quest. There we go. And Lost, with your kung fu skills, maybe you can still be.
Yeah.
I've already said we'll limit his strength training down to 3 days a week.
Okay.
And the rest of the training you can get someone else for.
Yeah.
That'd be a funny 5 by 30 high kicks.
Just get my old stick and just beat him around the head with it. Focus on strongman, goddammit.
Peter, thank you for the super chat. Last will you be using your old pull technique from Worlds 2016-17? What did you do?
What are we talking about here?
Pull.
Truck pulls, deadlifts?
No, we'll be talking about OSG.
Drag?
Is there some pull in OSG?
There's a
There's a
drag.
deadlift. There's no.
There's a drag.
There's a sled drag.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay, the sled drag at World's
Botswana.
Strongest Man was on some gravel
Cobbled.
that was just terrible.
It was on a cobbled
Like
street.
literally, Thor pulled it pretty comfortably, but like every lane was different.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of drags before, and I'm not bad at all, but that was just a weird one-off performance where it was kind of crap.
It would be indoors on a smooth surface at OSG, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't expect it to be anything like what I did at World's Strongest Man.
Bloody hope not.
But every drag that you do is different. It's not like a barbell that's the same. Surface becomes a big issue. The equipment that you're using is different. It's very similar to like arm over arms. You know, you get some arm over arms that are light and easy. And you just kind of use your arms. Others that are much, much heavier, where you have to use your whole body, legs, back, etc. You start wrapping the rope around your grip until you get on that piece of kit and you feel how heavy it is. You may have to adapt your technique. So that's something I'm not too concerned about, to be honest. I'm more concerned about wearing the backpack and being 100 pounds heavier. But I think some of the other older guys will be more concerned about that than me. So it's one of those events. You know, I think it's best to stay quite relaxed about these things. And I'm quite calm. I'm experienced enough in lots of different events that I'll figure it out on the day.
There you go. Sensorium? Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Greetings, Mr. Hooper. Would you consider training with George St. Pierre for your MMA fight with Eddie? Montreal isn't too far for you to travel, and TriStar Gym has its champs.
I think one of the things that's a great opportunity for this whole fight is to do a lot of collaborations with different people. The thing about training with any individual big champion is that I wouldn't need to be trained by a champion. I would need to be trained by someone who's very good at working with beginners. So would I go to George St. Pierre's gym and learn a couple of things and shoot some content? For sure. I'd say the same thing about John Jones. I'd say the same thing about an Olympic wrestler if I could get onto them. I'd say the same thing about Terrence Crawford if I could learn some boxing from him, and Logan Paul. And if I could get onto all of those people, and I'm being touted and I'm out there as the world's strongest man, then it only helps strongman as a sport. Regardless of how much you like the fight or not, an individual in the sport's social profile growing, particularly with the title of World's Strongest Man, is now going to draw more eyes to World's Strongest Man, and it's just going to help us all. So I think, I'd be open with collaborating with a whole host of different people.
Has anyone heard from Novikov? No YouTube videos, wonder how he's doing and if he's in shape?
No.
I don't know, but it means nothing. Sometimes he posts in bad shape, and sometimes he posts in good shape, and sometimes he just can't be bothered.
And sometimes he posts a video, but it's like 2 months old.
Yeah, so you just never know with Alexi.
He's not the quickest at kind of getting his content out there.
No,
sometimes it's like it's in like an extremely dimly lit room, and sometimes it's not him, and sometimes
I love Alexi so much, but he's not someone I keep in touch with between comps.
But he's not someone I just automatically dismiss as not kind of
Never.
being good. You know,
Never.
you could even watch his warm-up sometimes and he'll look terrible, and then suddenly he switches it on.
Yeah, last year he failed comp weight for the Tower of Power in warm-ups, and then went out and did 8 reps or something.
He always looks bad warming up for a deadlift, doesn't he? So weird.
Yeah, it's interesting watching him.
Yeah. All right, let's start wrapping up because we've been on for quite some time and we had a 7-hour journey earlier. So
we did indeed.
We're all feeling a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And there we go. Any more? Oh, light year quotations next week. Oh, yeah. It was at the Arnold's, wasn't it? When did you let Reddit vote for the things for you to say? And you slipped them into the interviews, but then you fucked it all with the finishing the interview.
No, I didn't. I drove the nail home. Whoever gets it, gets it.
What does it mean? Not very much.
It's true. It's true.
Stands by it.
And I stand by it. And if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't.
I get it. I just like to wind you up.
It's funny.
Look who's here. It's Mrs. Hooper. Sorry, Ashley. We were looking after him right up until then.
Should we ask
now we're bullying him.
Should we ask Ashley here what we asked in the car earlier?
Absolutely not.
Ashley, ask us. Give us one last question. Let's round it off.
Yeah, give us a nice question, Ashley.
Important person in the world.
There you go. Oh dear.
Busy Blake Yappa. Do you know who will be competing in the Mr. Olympia Strongman show? To the best of my knowledge,
is that the nationals competition?
No, I don't believe there's a Strongman show happening at Olympia. There's a few of us going with Rain, I'm going to be there. Martins will be there. The whole Rain crew will be there. I believe Thor's going as well. So the whole Rain family will be there. But unless there's a contest I don't know about, I'm not sure any strongman is going on.
There we go. A most pleasant question to end the evening on. What event are you looking forward to most at Rogue?
Wow.
Why is it the wife cuddle?
Let's see. Working my way through the events in my head. They're never on the top of your head. You know, you can never have
Do you
all
need a quick
6 in your head.
reminder?
She wants to know if she should pack
Got
the
Tower
dad
of
hat as
Power,
well.
Rogue Coaster, Apollon's Axle, the Fingal's Finger into the log,
Yeah.
the Jewel.
I'm looking forward to
and the ball drag sled thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tower of Power. I'm definitely looking forward to Apollon's. There's certainly apprehension around the Iron Bull sled drag because we've seen the apparatus, but we don't know where the harness is going to be attached, and that certainly changes some things. I think it's an event that could throw a spanner in the works. So I would say I'm excited for those 3. That one's some level of apprehension, and then sandbag loading. Like, how could anyone mess up a sandbag load? It's really quite basic.
Should she pack the dad hat?
Final question.
Yeah, pack the dad hat. I won't wear it in competition.
We'll wear it to lunch.
Pack it, and I'll wear it for sun protection.
Awesome.
There you go. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We've had over 700 people for pretty much the whole 1 hour and 20 minutes that we've been live.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you, Mitch, for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Very gracious guest. Despite the shit that we give you, we don't mean it.
We're a lot meaner to him off camera.
Gets worse the second the camera's gone. But no, we hope you all have a great week. We'll be back soon. Obviously, we're all going to Texas on Wednesday, but we've got much more important things to do before then, starting with the garden center, which is all set up for Christmas, and there will be a members only video coming up at the back of that. So there you go.
Tune in for that, guys. We'll catch you soon. Take care. Have a great week.
Everyone smile and wave. No, Lottie, you press the button. We'll smile and wave.
You can't say everyone.